welcome to another video from Reddit Does Tech, and in the second part of the series of self-hosting, in this it's going to be all about basically picking the hardware and the operating system, and I will be going over picking the actual hardware and the operating system. So that's from choosing your CPU, the amount of RAM that you might need, and also which operating system that you might want to run as well, and also not too much, but a little bit about your power consumption and what you might want for, your actual device itself. I've not seen a lot of people talk about this really as a guide, so I thought I'd do it myself. And this might be a bit confusing because you might think, do I choose a device like I might choose a PC, or do I do something entirely different? Because obviously it's not something that everyone knows about. And well, the idea is that you're supposed to pick a device that's going to run 24/7, And also, in terms of your operating system, you might think about what happens if I choose my trusty Windows? Like, is Windows going to do the job, or do I need to pick a Linux distribution? Well, in terms of your operating system, the kind of TLDR is Linux. See right here, see what I run on a daily basis is Linux on my laptop, and also on my server. So, it's really what you should think about. A quick little recap about what I actually run. So, I run what's called sorry, bit of a lag there, but I run what's called a ultra small form factor PC. So this is what I actually run, which is a ThinkCentre tiny M720Q. And I've gone over the whole detail about this in the previous video, but this is just a quick recap of what I run. I've got a hard drive bay, slots for SSD and RAM. It's an i5 8th gen CPU. It works perfectly well for what I want to run on this device. But see, I didn't start out with this. I actually started out with a Raspberry Pi 3. Because this is what I had lying around at home. So when you go ahead and pick your device, I would highly recommend that you use what you have at home. Because using what you have is much better than trying to go out and buy a device. So that saves you loads of money in the long run. So if you have like an old laptop that's not doing much, or an old PC that you're not using really, which is within the last 10 years, so like we're in 2024, so pick a device that's 2020 2014 plus, and you're generally good to go. I don't know, pick something like that, preferably something with like at least 4 gigabytes of RAM should be ample for what you want to do. Or if you have a Raspberry Pi like this, use this. A Raspberry Pi 4 is even better. It has USB 3, which means you can actually do some fast data transfers. And it can actually be worth it. See, with a Raspberry Pi, you can spice it up a little bit by getting a heatsink, which is like £2 to £3 on Amazon, and it's gonna do wonders to it. And even you can get a PoE hat, which is exactly what I've done for my Raspberry Pi 4. I use it as a KVM, but besides the point. The key thing is the key thing here is use what you have. But the one thing that I don't recommend that you do when you're using what you have is using a used hard drive. So you might have, So you might have an old device lying around which has a used hard drive or SSD in it. I would not do that, because if you've been using that device daily or near daily for like 6-7 years or longer, no, I wouldn't. 100% wouldn't, because it's not worth it, because this is the kind of device that you want to store your personal information on. Like the apps that you want to run, that you want to store that data on there. So it's better not to, meddle with storing with that kind of information and for it to get lost. Because I've made that mistake before, where I've broken my server before because I've used an old SSD. But I'll talk about that. In later. So I would say, because SSDs are really cheap, go buy an SSD. Here's a Kingston SSD, which is now it's about £55.90 when I'm making this thing for a Kingston 960 SSD. You can find more expensive ones as well, and also cheaper ones. But I don't know how much I trust this Bankshing SSD. Depending on what device you have, you can pick. Obviously, I'd get an enclosure for this as well if you're going to use it externally, unlike Raspberry Pi. But for an internal drive that you're going to use with just SATA connection, or with an NVMe or like a M.2 connection, I mean, it could work. You don't need an external enclosure, but external enclosures are great anyways. They're great to have just for as a spare sort of thing. And if you don't really want to spend a lot of money on a drive because it's your first like PC, or it's your first like type of like device that you're gonna run as a server, then I'd maybe have a look at like a 1 terabyte hard drive, depending on what you have. So like here's a 1 terabyte 2.5 inch drive that's priced at £31, which I would put in my which I've got in my actual server right now as a actually I've got it externally as a backup. The point is, something like this for your internal 1 terabyte is plenty enough. Now obviously you can pick out bigger drives too and spend more money. Same can be said for your SSD as well, because oh wait, okay, they've gone up in price. I spent 100 and something for this. Yeah, not 279, not 273. Anyways, yeah, besides the point. Now, if you're gonna buy a new device, what kind of device should you look out for? Again, being a bit biased myself, I would highly recommend that you have a look at these ultra small form factor PCs, like the ones that I have, because they are tiny, they are really power efficient for its use case. It does really good job at keeping it low, and barely. For 90% of the usages, I don't creep up 50% of the usage, CPU usage, which means the TDP of the CPU of this particular CPU is probably not more than like 25 watts. See, configurable TDP is 35 watt. So I don't know what Lenovo has done with it, but I'm not. But my device uses 65 watts, so I'm probably not even maxing it out, which is like really good. So then in that case, let me just see what I can find today on eBay. So basically, let me do on a new private window. Okay, so let's see what I can find for an ultra small factor PC. Right, what we want is, I would say, since this is your first ever build, I would try and keep it to around £50-60, because obviously you don't want to spend too much money on this device to then find out that you're never going to use this again. You know? So let's keep the max. Let's keep the max to 70 as the very sort of like £50-60. Yeah, but I'm saying max is absolute 70 max. Now what we want to do is we want to try and see if we can get an i5 is what we want. And we want ultra small form factor. And we want 6th gen. Right, maybe not that much. We want to see i5. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, yeah. See, this something like this works really. i5 8th gen. Like, let's see. Right. Okay. So no hard drive. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so this doesn't come with a drive, but you know, if you're gonna buy this, you're gonna put a drive in anyways. It's what I recommend, because obviously you don't want to use an old drive anyways. No power cable. Okay. Eight gigabytes, 240 gig SSD. The SSD, and it comes with a power adapter. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Let's see what ports it comes with. I mean, sweet. Got HDMI on it. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly is all you're gonna need. That's it. You know, something like this, or like this. Right, okay, sorry about that. So truly, pick what you want. Any of these are really, really good. Like, they are really, any of these would basically set you for what you want to, the kinds of things that you want to do. And then after this, once you got your device, then it's about picking your operating system. And in terms of picking an operating system, you know, you can either pick Windows, but the thing is, Windows has a GUI. It really does have a GUI. So then what do you pick? Right, then you know, what do you pick? Because let's see, where's the tree? List of Linux distributions. Yeah, see, look. Yeah. There's loads. There's loads and loads and loads. I'm not gonna say that I'm a Linux expert in all of these, right? Because each one of these has its own particular use case. You know, there's the Arch ones which I run myself on this. You know. What's okay, never mind. Now I'm getting off track, but all of these they have their use cases for something or the other. But really, in my opinion, you've got a few choices that you can pick from. You can either pick Fedora and go with the server edition. Right, it already comes with Cockpit, which I do install myself on my server. So there are some advantages to that. But you know, you can pick this. This works fine. Or you can go with the trusted Ubuntu server. The latest 24.04 LTS is out. This is there. Or you can go with the good and the gold Debian 12. Or yeah. Just when you go to the install, just don't pick a GUI. That's it. And then you're set. Then that's it. As soon as you choose a minimal server, you're good to go. Just pick the minimal server option. That's really it. Now, see, I run Ubuntu. That's what I run. Should you run Ubuntu too? That's up to you. You need to weigh out the pros and cons. But do I recommend running Ubuntu? Yes. Because running Ubuntu has basically saved me a lot of hassle in a lot of places. Yeah, I run Arch locally, but with Arch, the problem is you've got to update it very, 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 very often. And I don't want to be doing that for my server. You know? And with Ubuntu's upgrade cycle, with Ubuntu's upgrade cycle, you know, it's every 2 years. So every 2 years there'll be a new LTS. You know, it's brilliant. So right now this is out. I'm still running this because there's no need for me to upgrade anymore. There's no need for me to upgrade because it does the thing. Because it does what I need it to do. I will upgrade when I get told to upgrade, which is in August. I think it's in August or something like that. Is it, or whenever they release the 24.04.1 release. When that happens, that is when I'm going to upgrade, because other than that, I don't need to upgrade. You know, anything else is 100% not necessary. And then all the apps I need, all of my stack, really my whole stack is just Linux, which is this. Then I've got Apache. Then there's MySQL, and then there's PHP. That's really all my stack is. And I use Apache as my reverse proxy, which I'll talk about in other videos, which I'll talk about probably in the next video, or maybe in a future video. I don't know. I'll pick and choose. But really, that's all. That's it. So this is absolutely perfect for what I need it to do. And you know, if you're coming to me and thinking, what should I run? Well, there's your answer. If you want a clean-cut answer, actually, let's do that now. If you want a clean-cut answer of what you should do, use what you have. If you don't, so use what you have. If you have something lying around at home, no matter what it is, use it. Within the last 10 years, use it. And for your operating system, pick Ubuntu. Save yourself the hassle. Do that. Or if you don't have your own device, then buy one. Buy our ultra small form factor PC. You know, go and do that. I will leave some links in the description as for a couple of places where you can download where you can on eBay where you can find some ultra small factor PCs. You know, but other than that, this is it. Well, you know, this should be it for the hardware and operating system. Then, you know, and then in terms of the apps, it comes down to you, what you want to run. So, what's part 3? Well, part 3 of the series is going to be exactly on how to install my first app, which is Nextcloud. How do you install Nextcloud and get it running so that you can go in your browser and you can go to you know, some IP or URL and then see and go about seeing your whole dashboard of things. How do you see this? This is what we want to get to. How do you run your own instance of Nextcloud? That's basically the next thing. And this should really solve everything for you. Yeah. sorry, not everything, but like this should solve like a lot of the apps for you. And I'll show you about installing apps and whatnot in the next video. Or apps within this. I'll talk about, you know, doing that, and I'll be doing that on an old Raspberry Pi that I have lying around. I've not decided whether I'm going to do it on the Pi 3 or a Pi 4. I'll do that for the next video, and I'll talk about how I'm going to do that for that. Although it's not going to be my new solution, but it's going to be the kind of thing. It's going to be kind of the tutorial self-hosting server that I'm going to use. Well, then on that note, I will say thank you very much for watching, and